What's up, you guys? So it is me, Layla Lynn, and I am here with one of your future favorites, Tisa Tales. What's up, Tisa Tales?
Hey, Layla, how are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining me. I'm honored to have you on my channel. I'm honored to have been on your channel. It really means a lot to me to, share this moment, like me on your channel and you on my channel. It means a lot to me. So thank you for having me on your channel. We just discussed RHOP, and now we're here with a little RHOA or former RHOA drama because Cynthia is kind of, it's almost like she's clapping back at Nene, who never clapped at her. But Nene has said recently, that Cynthia was not there for Greg's homegoing service, which is a fact. And Cynthia responded to that. So we're going to get into exactly what's going on with that situation. So I want to start first. I want to start first with what Nene said. And I know you appreciate this because you are another fact-based blogger. You are blogging about the facts. I see you on your channel getting the tea and doing your research. So I know you appreciate facts. So let's first share what Nene said, and then we'll get into everything that happened.
Okay.
Every housewife in the entire franchise, reached out to me. Kim Zolciak definitely have texted me since Greg has passed, and she has stayed in touch since then. So I would say that we are okay.
I don't want to name drop, but I would expect her to.
Who?
I would expect her to.
No. A lot of people expect that. No. She didn't even come to the repass. She did come like a week later after everything was done. She came by my lounge. It's really hard to explain Housewives. It's almost like a dysfunctional family. But they all reached out. They all sent flowers or something. Actually, I was surprised because the first set of flowers I got was a bouquet from like all the housewives. Like they went in together. I'm like, why do y'all need to go in together and buy some damn flowers? Like, it's all of y'all work. You don't need to just, let's go in together and buy $200 worth of flowers. Like, you can spend your own $200.
Okay, so Nene basically said that Cynthia did not attend the homegoing service for Greg. She came like a week later. And to me, I don't feel like she was calling Cynthia out. A lot of these headlines say that Nene called Cynthia out. And I feel like as bloggers, we frame things. So we might make that the headline or the title of the video. But if you listen to the content of the video, Nene did not actually call Cynthia out. She answered a question when someone asked her, did Cynthia attend the homegoing service? But what are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so I'm of two minds. One, I recognize that, even though I don't know Nene, I feel like we have a parasocial relationship. She's my big sis in my head. I've realized that she's going through an incredibly tough time and she's grieving. And once you get a certain age, you realize that grieving is messy. Sometimes it is ugly. Sometimes it is healing, but it's different for everyone. So I'm like, all right, Nene, I'm going to give you grace for this and just ignore everything you say for the next few months because you're in a weird emotional space.
Yeah.
The Cynthia thing, you need to remember that Cynthia, the last seasons, Nene was not trying to get Cynthia fired, but definitely when they were like, is Cynthia necessary? Nene was like, I don't know. Is she necessary? So they already had that tumultuous thing. When Cynthia actually got buddy with Kenya is where when Nene was actually like, you know what? That's it. You're dead to me. And she started coming for Cynthia and being like, you're on your own. We know that Nene likes to publicly humiliate her enemies, right? And I'm not saying,
do we know that? Do we know that?
well, I mean, has Nene ever taken the high road? And I love Nene, but has she ever taken the high road? Let's think about it. Has she ever just smiled and been like, let's just get through this scene? Never. Right? She's always coming, always has a look. She always has something she wants to say, right? So I love Nene and I love she's good TV. And I think she'd actually be a good friend. She seems like most Sages, right? Full of fire. They either love you and they'll jump in front of a bullet or they're trying to put you in front of a bullet. It's either or. They're not, there's no in between. I feel like what she was trying to do was embarrass Cynthia. I think that she did feel some type of way that Cynthia didn't come to Greg's memorial service. I do. And it made me sigh Cynthia a little bit because I don't care who you are. If you say that you have a close family member pass away, even if you work at Walmart, right? You might have to bring the obituary in with you, right? Or you tell it to your shift manager, but they'll let you know. So the
Yes, and I feel like that's the real tea. We got Claudia and Nene going back and forth. But the
Mhm.
real tea is Cynthia's actions because she was not present at the homegoing service or the celebration of life,
Yeah.
and she said she was busy. And actually, she said it on Page Six. She did an interview with Page Six, and she said she was actually busy. I don't know that I believe her, but I want to share with you what she said.
You know, Greg's passing was devastating to not only, you know, me, to the world. I was great friends with Nene when Greg found out about his cancer. So when she decided to do the celebration for him, unfortunately, my husband and I were not able to make it, and I just felt so bad about it. And I, you know, decided that once I got back to Atlanta, I really wanted to, you know, just, you know, try to see her. I wanted to give my, you know, condolences and just give, you know, send my respect out of respect for Greg in person, you know, because it's been a couple of years and, you know, it's just been a lot said and a lot done in that time. So, but anyway, Greg's, you know, the respect for his death was bigger than all of that for me. So I was like, okay, let's go. I need you to go with me. And hopefully she doesn't slam the door in my face. And I was really kind of nervous about it, to be honest. So we show up, and honestly, it was a little awkward at first. It was a little awkward. I didn't really know what to do with myself. I was like, hi, I just wanted to, you know, see you and give you a hug. And, you know, after about 20, 30 minutes, you know, we were fine. So it was, I'm really glad, honestly, looking back, that I didn't make it to the actual celebration, because I think if I had, I never would have had the moment that I got to have with her, just hanging out with her at her lounge and pretty much closing the place down. Like, we really got to spend some one-on-one time together. And I know that wouldn't have happened, you know, had I been, you know, there with, you know, everyone.
All right, so Cynthia basically said she was booked and busy, you know, at the time of Greg's celebration of life, and that she came a week after. And I have to be honest with you guys, the fact that she was like, I came a week after, but I'm glad that I did because me and Nene got one-on-one time. I have to be honest with you, it sounded selfish to me. When to want one-on-one time with someone who was grieving their husband, I understand it, but at the same time, it sounds a little bit selfish.
You know, I agree with you, and I'll one up you. Not only did it sound selfish, but to me, it sounded like an excuse. Like, I'm like, you know how it's kind of like when your parents disappoint you and you're just like, I thought we were having ice cream for dessert. And they're like, no, vanilla pudding's so much better. And you're just like, this is not ice cream. I
Vanilla
really
pudding.
feel like she would look bad. She was trying to figure, and she knew she couldn't go too long without seeing her. It seems like it worked around her schedule. And let me tell you something. Portia was there. Simon got bolded. Well, you know, he wasn't missing the camera. So, of course, Simon was there, right? Kenya was there, right?
Yeah.
Of course, Marlo was there. People that Nene was cool with and people that Nene couldn't stand, they all put their everything aside and they showed up. So for Cynthia Belly, someone that had a friend contract is supposed to be the ride or die. And Simon, she
Right.
realized when it left that it looked really bad. I don't think it was just Nene. I think a lot of people are like, Cynthia. I could see Candy in the corner, like, where is Cynthia? Right? Cynthia.
One more time. Wait, can you do Candy one more time?
Candy was like, well, where is Cynthia? We were at the memorial. Like, what? Right?
You subscribe to Tisa Tells.
That's
Check
Candy.
out the impersonation. Subscribe to Tisa Tells. There's a link below. Check out your
Layla. Tell me you can't vision Candy over the food at the repast. I'm like, where is Cynthia? She wasn't here, but I know Candy was like, what in the world? Literally. And the fact that, right? The fact that out of that, Cynthia realized it looked bad. So she showed up a week later and she had that dumb thing being like, oh, no, you don't understand. I'm just doing this because I wanted time alone. Nene then went on to say it was awkward for 10 minutes, right? That shows Cynthia, you have not talked to her in a while. And the one thing that stuck in my head that Nene said, again, to your point, Layla, we talking about Claudia and Nene, but the real thing is Candy sent a bunch of bouquets. We know this. Candy's a class act, right? Yeah. Marlo, that's her ride or die. Marlo, you know, Marlo believes money's the best gift in the world. And I agree, right?
Right. Nothing wrong with sending cash. She sent cash. Yes, Marlo. Yes. We're not mad.
I'm not mad either, because when you're real and when you're real friends, it's like, I don't need to put all these, here's some cash, do with what you want. The fact that Cynthia didn't send anything, I don't know.
Cynthia, we looking at you. We looking at you. But let's check out what your girl Claudia. You know your girl Claudia. Claudia is a fan of Tisa Tells. She has shouted her out on her Twitter. This is what Claudia had to say.
Appeared on V103 Atlanta and got a few things off her chest. She expressed that Cynthia Bailey didn't show up until a week after Greg passed away, but revealed that every housewife did reach out to her after his passing. Nene also questioned why the housewives pitched in to send her a $200 bouquet of flowers instead of buying their own. Good points. Everyone shows up the day of or the day before, the day after, but what about a week after? I'm going to say this. I'm going to be careful with this as well. It's no secret that her and we're not cool. We're not friends. We're nothing. We're nothing. But out of respect for Greg, I did send condolences, and I never made it public. I didn't put it out there or post something or tell the world and whatever. But I did feel triggered when she posted, when I heard about this story. I'm like, hold up. Well, no one owes you anything. I wouldn't have to spend $1. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with your husband and paying respect to the man that we all got to know and love, who was so supportive and kind. Even when you were beefing with his wife, he was still a class act. And Nene, I can't tell you how to grieve because, again, I've never lost a husband. I've never lost a mate. I'm not married. I just have a boyfriend. But it's just such a tacky thing to did you Google how much the flowers cost? The things that you said about other people, you're lucky that anyone even showed up for you. Actually, you're lucky that anyone even showed up for you. Actually, and the fact that people rallied around you, I thought was a beautiful moment. So let's not ruin it. Let's just build on that moment and move forward. If I don't like someone and they lose someone, usually I'm just not going to say anything. So, if they put it on, that's fine. I mean, I really did feel bad for her. And I just feel like Nene is making these missteps that are just further sabotaging her brand and her likability. And I think, let me tell you this, as much as we beefed whatever on the show, we had some cool moments off. And I think she's hilarious. I think Nene is one of the most entertaining reality stars that has ever been on television. And that's facts. And the fact that she's on television says a lot because I think she deserves to be on television. But I think it's stuff like this that rubs people the wrong way that may be hurting her. And I hope she can get through this and grieve properly and get back to where she's supposed to be. But this is not it, sis. Calling people out about how they chose to support, you in the death of your husband it's not cool. It's hard to be sympathetic. It's hard to be sympathetic.
All right. So I have to be honest with you. It stands out to me that Claudia said she finds it hard to find empathy for Nene. And I feel like someone's husband just died, regardless of the arguments you've had with them back and forth on reality TV or social media. If you find it hard to find empathy for someone whose husband has died, it sounds like a personal issue with you. You know what I mean? And I don't think it was right for Claudia to call out Nene. And I feel like Claudia is going by the headlines. Like people are saying that Nene is calling out Cynthia, but when you actually watch the video, she's not really calling her out. She's answering a question that people asked her, and she didn't really have any malice, in my opinion. But I wanted to know what you thought.
And see, here's the funny thing. Listen, all things can be true. I like Claudia. I'm a big fan of Claudia, right? I understand why she did it. You could think that she's wrong, but just because she's wrong doesn't mean Nene's right. Nene needs to stop acting like when people ask her questions, she's an open book. Nene is known for walking out of interviews. She's known for shutting things down. She's known for being like, next question, next question. Nene answered that question because she wanted to. And I think it's because she felt some type of way about Cynthia and wanted Cynthia publicly shamed while still keeping her hands clean, right? She ain't have to rip apart Cynthia. We're sitting here ripping apart Cynthia. When it comes to Claudia, though, here's the thing. I understand the point Claudia was saying, and you can't separate when someone knows somebody personally. I think she knows Nene personally. And then she was saying, which is true to a certain point, right? If somebody sends you flowers, you kind of have to have in the back of your head, like we were saying, if all my friends chipped in and got me $200 flowers and y'all all making over $500,000 a year, yeah, I'm going to look at you funny. Okay.
Yeah, that's normal, I think, in my opinion.
It's normal, but when you get flowers, there's certain things you can't push up against. There's certain things you can't complain about. One of them is when somebody gives you a gift, right? And when we say friends, we have to remember when Nene left that show, most of those ladies stopped talking to her. So they're not friends the way we would be friends. They were
colleagues.
Yeah, exactly. They were work associates that all got together. Now, was it a cheap gift? absolutely, they should be ashamed of themselves. That's why Candy went over and above. That's why Marlo went. But I get Claudia's point of Nene is one of the brightest stars on TV. She is charismatic. She is beautiful. She has so much personality. She is quick-witted. She's just a gorgeous woman inside and out. But there is something in Nene's personality that is very, I don't even want to say self-destructive, and I don't want to bring anything else in, but the way the world reacts to Nene,
especially, I know you don't want to bring us in self-destructive when we're talking about Claudia Jordan. Claudia and Jordan, in reference to Nene Leakes, is kind of like two of the same. So I know you don't want to bring in that.
I don't know what you're talking about. What you mean? What you mean?
I don't know if we have time, but I feel like they're two of the same. You know what I mean? Like if Claudia was to call Nene self-destructive, it's almost like looking in a mirror, in my opinion.
Really? See, that's the thing. I don't know Claudia to be self-destructive. Spoiler alert. Let me just stop. I don't really know Claudia like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I can't even be like, well, last week when we were on her couch, she told me, let me stop. Let me stop. Right. Like, Claudia going out for drinks, right? I don't know Claudia like that. I know she's always been nice to me. But even if you can say that she shares the same traits too as Nene, if this is true, then isn't it? It's kind of like someone that has a hard head when they were younger and they're trying to tell somebody else that had a hard head, you going about this the wrong way. I see you making the same mistakes I made. Why don't you like look around and listen? I do think there's something in what it said is, Nene, you are so bright. You are so talented. Part of it is, I think, when people are and strong opinions, they're alienated. So I definitely think Nene has that stacked against her. But even
that's what I think Claudia did to Nene. I feel like Claudia fell for it because they do put it like when people, you know, of a certain skin tone, you know, are outspoken, people kind of take what they say and they run with it, like they exaggerate what they say. But when you actually look at what Nene said, she was just like, yes, no, you know, Cynthia didn't come to the celebration of life. She came a week after. Like she was very nonchalant about it. And I feel like Cynthia fell for the headlines when people are putting 20 on 10 and they're framing things. I feel like Claudia fell for that. And then she responded to the headlines and not what Nene actually said.
Can we also say, though, Claudia's job is to actually comment on the headlines. And it actually, everybody thought that Nene was shading Cynthia. I will say, though, I feel like you're giving Nene the angel edit. Now, I know you can say, girl, you're giving Claudia the angel edit too, right? I feel like there was something in that interview, maybe because I feel like I've known Nene and I've watched her too long, but you might be right. Maybe she was just talking. Again, I made a little video about this, just, you know, we're going to deep dive, but I really do feel like at this time, the one thing I can agree with you is we need to give Nene a little bit of grace because your mind's not straight. Your emotions aren't straight. You might be laughing one minute, crying the next. You might tell a memory when Greg made you mad, and the next minute you're telling a memory about how you missed like your other half of your heart. So that could be it too. So I'm going to withhold that Nene wasn't being shady, but it was really rude to bring up the price of stuff. But that said, we're not talking about people that working at Walmart on evening shifts. We are talking about all people that make over.
We're talking about multimillionaires. We're talking about multimillionaires and $200 bouquet of flowers. So in my opinion, if you're talking about rude, it's your girl Claudia Jordan. That's my opinion. And I'm somewhat of a fan of her as a host. Like I love what she's doing on Fox Soul. Like I love what she's doing, but I don't like what she did and what she said about Nene. And I feel like if she looks back and sees herself say, I find it hard to find empathy for Nene losing her husband. I feel like she looks back, she'll probably regret it. So if people want to stand for her saying that, and then keep in mind, she probably will regret it. But let's get into what
you're right about that, Layla. That's the one thing. You're right. That comment, I hope she'll probably come back and clarify.
Yeah.
I hope it was just taken out. You know, you say stuff out of context and she'll come back and clarify. But definitely.
I agree with you. She probably will. I can see her coming back and clarifying her thoughts. Because sometimes you get caught up in the moment and you say things that don't clearly, you know, represent what you really feel. So I can agree with you on that. But let's get into what Nene had to say.
Nene, no makeup. But listen, I just had to jump on here to just say a couple of things really, really fast to you guys. First, I love you guys. And thank you so much for loving me, okay? The next thing is, there are some people in the world who live in negativity consistently throughout their entire life. And then there's sometimes in life where you have people who are stalkers, who actually stalk your life. I want to say everyone that reached out to me during the time that Greg was sick and during the time he was crossing over. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for everyone and everything. I'm so grateful. Listen, I'm very much a person that if you ask me something, I'm going to tell you. Yes, I am learning that every question does not need to be answered. I got that. But I want to say thank you to Tigger and V103 for having me on the show yesterday as a guest co-host. We had a super positive show. Obviously, any show that I do, they're going to ask me about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? They did. I spoke positive of everyone. I have nothing negative to say. I don't. My time on the show was what it was. I have nothing to say about any person, nothing. I'm done talking about all of that. Okay? So, they asked me if the Real Housewives sent condolences or gifts or anything. Everywhere I go, people ask me this stuff, okay? I get asked this stuff every single day. I said 1,000,000 times. Every single person that I can think of, maybe one or two didn't, the entire franchise reached out. The black girls and the white girls, okay? Bravo reached out. That included Andy, all the executives. Everyone reached out. The camera people on the ground, the production crew, everyone reached out. I was asked about gifts that were given. No, before I was asked about that, I was asked about if Cynthia attended Greg's repast. No, she didn't. I answered the question very honestly. I'm a very honest person. She did not attend. Did it bother me that she didn't attend? No. Seemed like it bothered other people because other people were always coming to me asking me about it. It didn't bother me. She showed up a week or so later at the lounge. Great. We had an amazing time. I think she said somewhere we had a great time. It was awkward for about 10 minutes and we had a great time. We had an amazing time. We laughed, we partied, we had a ball. It didn't really bother me. Okay? It just didn't. Greg's sickness was what it was. He understood what he was going through. He knew he was going to die. We had these conversations 1,000,000,000,000 times, okay? I was asked about the gifts that the girls gave. I was asked what gifts the Real Housewives gave, or if they gave a gift or something I can't remember the exact question it was. And you know, I'm kind of fly at the mouth sometimes, so I said some little something on the side. But what the truth is, since we're speaking on the truth, I did receive flowers from the Real Housewives cast. And it lists their names: Kenya, Candy, Cynthia, Marlo. I think that's what it said. And I later said, I had a conversation with Marlo about it when she came to me. And I said, I did get the flowers. I'm just, you know, everybody had to chip in to get me a set of flowers. We're just kind of talking about it. It's just the truth. And I at that moment when she and I were having the conversation, I did feel a way. Because Todd's mother passed some years ago. Greg and I catered all of this food to his mom in New York. And Marlo's brother passed, and I sent, you know, things to cater for Marlo. And but later, Candy sent me a huge bouquet of flowers. We text each other. I told her how much I thanked her. Marlo sent me money after that to buy things with for the repast. I'm grateful for everything. Like, we had the conversation. They bought a bouquet of flowers. It didn't matter. My house was like a garden. Okay. I got flowers from everybody from around the world. Okay. Flowers came in from everywhere, and I am grateful. Okay. I just don't feel like I have to get on here and break it down and explain, because I'm doing it. We had such a positive, fun show, and I never spoke negative of anyone. And my stalker is consistently speaking of me, but I'm telling you, I'm not the one. You need to stop your stuff, because you know I am not the one. I'm over here trying to live in a positive light. Please, I'm asking you to leave me alone. I want to say thank you to all of you who have consistently supported me. I do not care if you sent a gift. I don't care if you made a comment. I don't care what it was. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for each and every last one of you. Thank you so much. My circle of support has been absolutely amazing. The people that are consistently checking on me and consistently supporting me, you know I love you and I thank you. Thank all of you. Whatever you did it, and I appreciate it, whether it was big or small. I really appreciate it. And I know Greg truly appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love you. Gotta go get some makeup now. Please leave me alone. I'm asking that. All of you guys, please leave me alone. I wish my husband had not died. I would not be dealing with any of this. Please leave me the fuck alone.
Okay, so Nene said, please leave her alone. Leave her out of this. She's not on the show anymore. Claudia's not on the show anymore.
No.
Claudia's going to be on like some type of relationship show.
Yeah.
But neither one of them is a housewife anymore. And so Nene has asked to be left alone.
Listen, that was Nene, the old Nene. That was warning shots. That was her telling Claudia she is 2 seconds away from dragging her up and down the street. The only thing is, and I don't know if it's because Nene's grieving or not, Nene, Claudia was 2 seconds off of your butt too. And when it comes to dragging, exactly, when it comes to dragging, those two are equally matched. It's literally the ballad of fire and ice. So honestly, I hope Nene, she's grieving, but I know the mess is about to start. She said a warning shot. Claudia does not seem to be like a punk, and she already seems like she's clapping back. So we're going to see where it goes. But I know from people with grieving, Nene might have started to use Claudia as a focus point, because I thought it was a bit much for saying a stalker, to use her as a focus point to let all her anger and her rage out. So we'll see how this develops. But neither of them are punks, so we'll see.
No, right. No punks here. And I do appreciate it. And Claudia has acknowledged that she appreciates Nene telling the Real Housewives of Atlanta producers that Claudia is the one that they need to cast when they were trying to decide between Claudia and Demetria McKinney. Oh, Demetria McKinney, she's nice and classy or whatever, you know, but she's not Claudia. She's not going to give you the mess. And so, you know, Claudia says she's appreciated that. But Tisa, I want to tell you, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on my channel.
Oh my God. Listen, Layla, thank you so much for having me. I hope to be on your channel more. I'm gonna be in the comments harassing y'all. You know, be like, has anybody heard of Tisa Tells? I think she should be involved.
Yes. So make sure you follow the link. There's a link below to Tisa Tells channel, and we're gonna follow up. We did a video on her channel. We got to follow up.
It was a book club review where we actually went. I know they already did a great review, but we did the book club thing where we actually dissected every paragraph and went into it. So of course you guys know Layla. Of course you guys know. You guys are on her channel. She made it amazing. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And we'll see you again soon. We'll follow up soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Layla.
Bye.
Talk to you later.